What's up, everybody? We are back. We're back with Church Guys Like Sport. Dr. Chris Burton. What's up, man? Thank you. Thank you. Heaven is the one everybody talking about. Listen, I want y'all to share this. It's time for Church Guys Like Sport. Dr. Harton, I got to talk about your Cowboys today.
We're free right now. We're delivered right now. Put a smile on your face. Get a song in your spirit.
Marvin, my man, one of the best drummers in Brooklyn. Thank you, man.
This is my season. I will be happy. I hear wedding bells ringing.
Dr. Harton, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Another hit. Thank you. Thank y'all so much for supporting the new record. I believe this might be one of the best records I've ever done in my career. Not in my father's legacy, but in just my personal career. Heaven is an awesome song. We've been getting a lot of reviews on Heaven. People are loving it, and people are loving Already Done. They loving the whole CD. But listen, we got to talk some sports. We got some sports to talk, and I'm gonna do a special behind the scenes thing on this record. I'm gonna do something special on it. Matter of fact, this is a little bit. Burton, this is a killer. But we here to talk sports. We're going to talk some sports. I ain't going to mess with that Heaven right now. That Heaven will take you in. But we got Church Guys Like Sports is back. I took a little vacation, but I am back today. And they are picking, you know, NBA season is over. Shout out to the Bucks. Shout out to the Milwaukee Bucks. They won the championship. And I said the Bucks in 6. I said it. I said it. I think it's over for Chris Paul. I think Chris Paul is done. Unless he come to the Knicks, we'll take him. But the Bucks did win the championship, and I want to personally shout out Valerie Daniels. Some of y'all may not know who she is, but she is Bishop Cedric Daniels' sister. And she is part owner of the Milwaukee Bucks. She also owns about 100 Burger Kings and Taco Bells out there, too. She's well off, and she's always nice to me whenever she sees me. And she gets a championship ring. She's part owner of the Milwaukee Bucks. So shout out to you, evangelist, supervisor, Valerie Daniels, Church of God in Christ's own. All right? But while we're talking basketball, I took a vacation hoping that when I got back, things would be better. But yesterday, I get the news that the Team USA team has lost another game. The USA basketball team. Yes, the USA basketball team lost to France. France ain't good for nothing but French toast and what's them pancakes that people like? The international pancake, the little fluffy little fake pancakes that you fold up like a napkin. You can't be the USA basketball team and lose to France. I don't understand what's going on. We got Kevin Durant, Draymond Green, Devin Booker, all these boys, Zach LaVine. If we're going to do this, let's go ahead and send the college kids back. crepes. That's what they call them. That's the only thing France is good for. France got the crepes and they got the French toast. And they don't know nothing about no basketball. How we lose to France? Rudy Gobert. They say, oh, they got 5 NBA players on their team, so they rough. Okay, the dream team got. I'm not even. You know what? We're not gonna call them the dream team. There was one dream team, and that was Patrick Ewing, Karl Malone, Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, David Robinson, Chris Mullin, them boys. That was Magic Johnson. That was the dream team. I don't even know what this team is. Get me, Harden, Eric Morgan, my coach, Larry Ned, he'll coach us, Sister Rochelle De Los Santos, and Mother Taylor. We can beat this USA team. They don't know how to play. What is this mess? We can't just go send anybody out there and think we're going to come back. That's the nightmare team. How we go from dream team to nightmare team. This is a mess. This is a mess. And I can't believe it. They're not going to win no gold medal. This is an absolute mess. And it disproves, this shames the the USA. And you see, all that stuff is coming back to bite us. We don't want the United States. We don't want to be here and all this stuff. They playing like they don't want to be here. We still got to represent. I know our former president wasn't our cup of tea. I know we want to make him look bad, but he's not even in office no more. If this USA team don't go ahead and win, it's gonna make Biden look bad. We're gonna be blaming Biden for this foolishness. If they're gonna lose like this, they should have lost like this when Trump was president. Don't wait till Biden and Kamala Harris get in there and then you play like this. Because now the world going to think we a joke. One thing we had over everybody else. Some folks say, oh, the pizza in France is the best. This is the best. Oh, the chicken in China is the best. All this and that. The tea in Japan is the best. But we always had one thing over everybody. Our basketball team was the absolute best. But now we don't even have that. We don't even have basketball. Oh, the doctors in Haiti are the best. The doctors in India are the best. I can get with that. But now they done took basketball from us. USA, the United States is a third world country now. Not because of our education, not because of our doctors, not because of our finances, but we are a third world country because we don't know how to play basketball no more. This is a mess. And I want to blame Greg Popovich, you too. You got Kevin Durant, Zach LaVine, Devin Booker, Draymond Green. Well, Draymond Green shouldn't be on the team no how. He shoot like he got a book bag on. He need to go somewhere. All these players. This is a mess. And I'm ashamed to say I'm from the United States of America. I'm ashamed. I'm appalled. I'm embarrassed. Damian Lillard. You got Damian Lillard. I'm embarrassed today to say that I'm an American. Not because of, COVID was, we handled COVID worse than anybody on the earth. All these other countries handled it much better than us. We lost 600,000 people. I am ashamed to say I'm an American. You know why? Because we can't play basketball. We can go get some dudes. I'll take you to George Gershwin Park right now on Linden Boulevard in Van Sicklen, and I can find 10 basketball players that can go out there and beat these Tokyo Olympics. Jason Tatum, you scored 50 points the other in the playoff against the Brooklyn Nets or against the Milwaukee Bucks, but you can't do nothing. You can't score 10 points on France. And look who we losing to. France. This is crazy. I can go to Rucker Park right now, get 10 basketball players, put a uniform on them, and take them to Tokyo, and I'll come back with the gold. This is foolish. This is a mess. Greg Popovich, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. You can't coach nobody but Tim Duncan. And we all, Greg Popovich, great coach. I don't know about that no more because he ain't did nothing since Tim Duncan left. Greg Popovich ain't won. He ain't won the neighborhood tournament since Tim Duncan left. All right, I'm going to leave that alone. Now, let me talk about football. And I don't want to get banned. I don't want to get into no big debate. But this is a sports show. This is not the Christian Network. So it is reported to me by the NFL that the NFL will now forfeit if you have a coronavirus outbreak. They will forfeit your game, and the players will have to forfeit a game check if the game is missed. If they have to forfeit a game and they do not play, they miss out on a game check because they want all NFL players to be vaccinated. They want to force this rule so everybody in the NFL can be vaccinated. They want these players to get the vaccination. And really, if they don't, they are in jeopardy of missing a game and they won't get paid for that game. Not only that person, but the whole team and the other team that they were playing against. So, let me take my take on this. Coronavirus is real. Let me tell you this. I've had it. I know it's real. And it is deadly to some people, especially if you have underlying health conditions. If you're overweight, it is deadly to some people. 97% of the people will survive from getting coronavirus. 3% of the people have been dying from getting coronavirus. Underlying conditions, overweight, heart failure, all this stuff, it's really deadly for you. Now, if you are an NFL player and you spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to keep yourself in shape, in tip-top shape, you've done all you can, you eat right to be fit, to fight off with these things. Why should you have to put something in your body after you spend, some folks spent millions creating their body? Why should they have to inject something in them that their doctors say they don't need? Oh, I know some folks gonna get upset with me with this. But the reason LeBron James has not gotten the vaccine. And the reason LeBron James has not gotten the vaccine, LeBron James spends $2 million a year on his body. He spends $2 million a year making sure his body is fit. He spends $2 million a year making sure his nutritionist keeps the things in his body to fight off infection, to fight off this. And you gonna tell that man and there's others that do it, that he needs to put a vaccine in his arm that might or might not help him, that is not proved to even stop the vaccine. Some people actually take care of their bodies, and their bodies are able to fight off this coronavirus. I am one of them. My doctor told me that I've developed antibodies in my body that can fight off COVID-19, and my body fought it off in 6 days. So why, if it ain't, because we got to know this, people that get vaccinated can still get sick, can still get the COVID-19, can still pass it, even if you do have the vaccine. So why get an unapproved vaccine in your body when your body is fit? Now, if you got underlying health conditions and the doctor told you, look, if you get COVID, you might be out of here, then I understand that. But everybody's situation is different. Don't you tell LeBron James, who is in 100% tip-top shape, to put a vaccine in his arm that will give him sickness. Yes, there is a new variant out. There's and again, we don't know the ins and outs of COVID-19, but I can tell you this, I can promise you this. Some folks don't need the vaccine. There was a man, his doctor said, because of your condition with blood clots, I recommend that you do not get the vaccine because you have a condition that constantly produces blood clots in your body. So everybody is different. I think we should let doctors make decisions instead of politicians make decisions. And it is unfair to tell an NFL player that he's going to lose his game check if he's not vaccinated when this man spends half of his life. You know what the NFL players are doing in the off season? While most of us are out there eating like we want to eat, eating whatever what we want to eat, they have a condensed diet that keeps their body in shape for the next season. They don't have no off season really. They're working. They're constantly in the gym. They're constantly staying in shape to keep their body intact so that their body can fight off stuff like this. And you're going to make them get it? So I'm not for the vaccine or against the vaccine. I've been preaching it since it came out. If you get vaccinated, you're going to need Jesus. If you don't get vaccinated, you're going to need Jesus. I just think it should be up to the person. It should not be mandated that you get something that you don't feel comfortable getting. I think it should be up to the person. And if the person wants to get the vaccine, great. If they don't want to get the vaccine, they shouldn't be forced to get the vaccine. Now, that's my main preference. Now, especially on the other end, we got a whole bunch of other things, conspiracy theories and all this, whatever. My thing is, should nobody be forced? If you want it, take it. If you don't want it, you shouldn't have to take it. That's my thing. If you want it, take it. If you don't want it, you don't have to take it. And when you start now, other folks, well, it's not even a vaccine, because usually a vaccine. When I got the when I was a kid, I got the MMR, measles, mumps, rubella shot. Most of us have gotten that. And when I got that shot, I haven't gotten measles since. I ain't had the mumps since, because that was the vaccine that prevented you from getting it. So how in the heck, get the COVID vaccine, but you still get COVID and you still got to wear a mask? See, it's a lot of uncertainty there. So that's on a whole. We not talking about well, is the vaccine good? Is the vaccine bad? I'm saying you shouldn't make nobody do it. That's all I'm saying. Especially these players that spend millions. You know how long it took LeBron James to get in his shape that he's in? And then you tell him he got to take a shot? And on LeBron James, and I'm not a LeBron James fan, but I got to shout him out. He is now a billionaire. LeBron James has eclipsed $1 billion. $1 billion. The only person ever to be a billionaire in the NBA. Michael Jordan is a billionaire as well. I believe Magic is a billionaire, but they got their billions after they retired. LeBron James is still playing and is a billionaire. You get a whole nother kind of respect. You can't talk trash to LeBron James on the basketball court no more. I don't care who you are. You can't talk. All right, you cross LeBron James over and you hit a jumper in his face. Yeah, I got you, LeBron. I got you. LeBron James gonna look at you and say, I'm a billionaire. You dunk on LeBron, yammed on you. LeBron James gonna look at you and say, I'm a billionaire. It's a different kind of trash talk now for LeBron James. He is actively in the NBA and is a billionaire. The only billionaires that are actively in the NBA are the team owners. LeBron James, you can't talk trash to LeBron. You don't talk trash to a billionaire. Oh, LeBron, I just crossed you over. He said, well, I'm a billionaire. I don't know. How can the coach tell LeBron James, LeBron, you missed that defensive assignment. You got to do better. You got to fight over the screen, LeBron. Coach, I'm a billionaire. LeBron, you missed a free throw. What's wrong with you? I'm a billionaire. He is a billionaire. It's a different game now. The referee can't even call fouls on him no more. LeBron, you fouled. I didn't foul nobody. I'm a billionaire. So shout out to LeBron, because one thing I can say about him, he's not the greatest of all time. But one thing he did, everything that they said he was going to be out of high school, he was that and more. All right. And we got to get back on that vaccine. Do you think that it should be mandatory for NFL players to get the vaccine? Do you think it should be mandatory for NBA players to get the vaccine? One player actually said, if they're gonna make me get the vaccine, I'd rather retire. Dean said they barely call fouls on him now. That's right. You know what? And I think it's unfair. I think once you become a billionaire, you shouldn't be able to be playing in the NBA no more. They ought to make him retire, because it's going to be too hard for somebody to coach him. It's going to be too hard for somebody to play with him. It's going to be too hard for referees to call fouls on him. It's different now, man. This dude's a billionaire. And another thing, while I'm talking about LeBron, the Space Jam movie has come out. And this has really bothered me. We got grown-up folks talking about, oh, this Space Jam movie ain't nothing. I'm mad that I went to go see it. This ain't nothing like the first Space Jam. Let me tell these dummy dum-dums something. Space Jam ain't for grown folks. It's for kids. Me, at my 43-year-old self, I'm not going to, when I saw the first Space Jam 30 years ago, I was a teenager. So I enjoyed it as a teenager. I was a kid. Now I'm grown. I ain't expecting to enjoy no cartoon. Oh, this ain't got nothing on the last Space Jam. You was 5 years old when the last Space Jam came out. Space Jam ain't for adults. It's for kids. Remember that when you going to see Space Jam. Remember that. The original Space Jam was 25, 30 years ago. Matter of fact, it was exactly 30 years ago, because that was when they put the first Dream Team together. And we criticizing the movie, and you in your 50s, in your 40s, in your 30s. I bet you the kids like it, and that's who it's made for. It ain't made for adults. Space Jam. God bless him. All right. Real important, going back to the NFL. Deion Sanders, who is now the coach of, I believe, in Mississippi State. He is now the coach. And this is what I got to say. It is reported to me that he would be interviewed, and the interviewer said, okay, Deion, I have a question for you. Deion Sanders got offended because he said, don't call me Deion. Call me Coach Sanders. Because if I was Nick Saban, you don't call Nick Saban Nick. You say Coach Saban. And the man continued, the white man, continued to call him Deion. Deion got up and walked out the interview, walked out the press conference. I salute you, Deion Sanders, because we got to make them put some respect on our name. Don't be calling that man Deion. He ain't just a regular person. He ain't the safety no more. He ain't the cornerback no more. He is Coach Sanders. And they give us these coaching jobs, and we take these coaching jobs, but they still don't respect us. Put some respect on Deion Sanders' name. You got the right one with him. Oh, he got up and walked off real fast. He said, "No, you don't call Coach Sanders. You don't call Coach Saban Nick. So you ain't gonna call me Deion." And he walked off. Call that man Coach Sanders. Make them respect you. And, we like to say, especially in church, titles don't mean nothing. Titles do mean something. Oh, they mean something, because if they mean nothing, you wouldn't have it. Some folks use that as a disrespecting tool. I hate it when folks, especially members of our church, when my father was the pastor, they would be, oh, hey, Tim, calling my dad, Tim, hey, Timmy, Tim. And he wouldn't say nothing, but some of the members got offended. No, that's Pastor Timothy Wright. Don't just call him Tim. And some folks try to do that. Some folks, it's an honest mistake, but others try to do it out of disrespect. Hello. You don't call your doctor by the first name. Some of us don't even know our doctor's first name anyway. When I go to my doctor, I don't call him Rashid. I call him Dr. Jafar. Yes, Dr. Jafar. I call him by his title. So Deion Sanders, I'm with you 100%. Don't call me no Deion. Call me Coach Sanders. All right. I ain't going to spend too much time on Aaron Rodgers. I'm getting tired of him. Aaron Rodgers, you need to let us know what you're going to do. Either you're going to play or you're not going to play. What you going to do, Doc? Let the folks know. Either you're going to play or you're not going to play. Let Green Bay know so we can figure out what we're going to do, and we can see who's going to come out the NFC. Because if Aaron Rodgers is playing, I got Green Bay coming out the NFC. But I don't know. The Cowboys, they are picking the Dallas Cowboys to win the NFC East. And I looked at some film of Dak Prescott. He has recovered 100% from that nasty injury. So shout out to the Cowboys. They might do something. We getting out of here on this. Now, I've been getting help from people because I like to be politically correct. I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings, and I don't want to say nothing wrong out of ignorance. So the Cleveland Indians, I know the Washington Redskins, the Redskins changed their name. Somebody got the Seahawks coming out. I don't know about the Seahawks, man. I don't know. But the Washington Redskins changed their name to the Washington Football Team. I was like, yo, what's the problem with the Redskins? But then I talked to some people from that community. They said the word Redskins is a very racist name. It's not as bad as the N-word for us, but it's close to call a Native American a Redskin. That's not nice. So they changed that name. For years, I've been using the word Indian Indians to describe folks that are Native American. Oh, he's Indian. That's the Indian community. That's what. Yes, Deshaun Watson is with them. That's what I've been saying. Indians, but not unbeknownst to me that some people from the Native American community see the word Indian as racist. So the Cleveland Indians have changed their names to the Cleveland Guardians. I don't know what to say about this because I'm not Indian. I don't know if I got Indian in my family. You know, my mother got on her side that Cherokee Indian. I never saw a problem with the word the team Cleveland Indians. But they had a problem with it and they changed the name. But Guardians, the Cleveland Guardians, they could have came up with a better name than that. So we need to go back, because if we're going to change the name of the Cleveland Indians, you got to change the name of the Atlanta Braves. Because that might be offensive. And I just think, oh God, see, I'm trying to be correct here, but I think people are just too sensitive nowadays. I didn't hear the Indian folks complaining about it. People are just easily offended. Now, you gotta change the name of what's the hockey team? The Blackhawks. If we're gonna change this, we got to go back and change a whole lot of stuff. We got to go back. You see what they did for black folks, and they took Aunt Your Mama off of the pancake thing, and then they put a picture of a plantation on there. And nobody black that I know never complained about Aunt Your Mama. Matter of fact, I like the Aunt Your Mama syrup. And it's these folks, I don't know who these folks are that are complaining for us. I ain't had no problem with Uncle Ben's rice. But they see a problem with it. And those of you, Mike Cohen, that keep bothering me about the name of the Knicks, first of all, the original name of the Knicks was the New York Knickerbockers. But they stopped going by Knickerbockers because when the Knickerbockers had an all-black team, some evil white folks were calling them the Niggerbockers. So they called them the New York Knickerbockers. So that's why they took Knickerbockers off and just called them the New York Knicks. There's a history lesson for you, Cohen. And that's blatantly racist. Now, that's hard. That is horrible. Yeah, they might have to change Oklahoma City. They call them the Thunder. Because you know, if you can find offense in everything if you're looking for it. You can find offense. The New York Yankees, that was for the people in the South. If you go down south in some parts right now and you tell them you from up north, they're going to call you a Yankee, which is a derogatory name for people up north. So are the Yankees going to change their name? Heck no. Make too much money off that name. All right, y'all. This has been an episode of Church Guys Like Sports 2. I hope you enjoyed it. We are back. We off vacation. And listen, go get the new CD. It's called Heaven. The new CD is called Miracles. One of the best songs on there is called Heaven. I want you to go download it right now. We got rehearsal tonight. A New York Fellowship Mass Choir reunion. Come through tonight. We in concert Saturday. Montre Tisdale, Brianna Young, Janitha Wright, and New York Fellowship Mass Choir reunion. Peace, y'all. Remember, you can love God and love sports.